Welcome into Damaski Field here in Oneonta, New York, where the Boonville Lumberjacks attempt to stop the losing streak at 13 against the Oneonta Outlaws. Pitcher out on the mound is Will Howard for Oneonta, first batter Devon Ibaga. Here comes the first offering. Taken down low, off-speed misses for ball one. Will Howard comes into the year with 8 games played, 3 of them starts with just over 21 innings pitched and a 5.4 ERA. Here comes the 1-0. Chop to the left side. This one can't be picked up by the third baseman, but the shortstop's got it. Throws over safe. The call at first. Jihad Guy in there with a leadoff infield single. So beats out the throw. It was Clark that couldn't get it down there at third, and then Maslow picks it up, but by that time already in there late, and now brings up Zeb Swangham. Howard with 20 runs, 17 of them earned this season. 28 hits, 10 walks, and 20 strikeouts. The next pitch, taken inside by Swangham, 1-0 the count. Swangham had an off day yesterday, quite uncharacteristic for the left infielder. Here's the next pitch. Down low yet again, 2-0 the count. Swangham had played 16 straight games before last night, and head coach Christian Griffin told me there's going to be no more off days for the UNC Asheville product. Here's the 2-0. Taken in there for called strike one, 2-1 the count. Howard with a bit of a delayed tempo here in the first inning. The 2-1. Chopped to the left side, but foul. Picked up by Christian Griffin and thrown right back to the pitcher Howard on a line. Another good play from the skipper, who had one last night in the loss, 6-2 in Glens Falls. Jihad Guy with a moderate lead down there at first base. The next pitch. Down low, 3-1 the count now on Swangham. Swangham's been on base in 15 of his last 16 games. It's been, frankly, a machine for this Boonville team in what has not been their best times of baseball. Payoff pitch on the way from Howard as the runner goes from first, chopped high into shallow right field. Guy's going to have to get a read on this one. Coming in is the second baseman and right fielder, but they mix it. No one gets the ball. It was Duffy and Wright coming in, but Jihad Guy going to be out at second base. Simply a tough play right there from Guy, who had to make sure that it wasn't caught or else he'd be doubled up, but a fielder's choice in reality right there as Swangham over there at first now. So the next batter is Wyatt Lassiter, the right fielder, another player who had an off day yesterday but is back in the lineup. The first offering, taken in there for called strike one. Next pitch is swung on and missed right there from Lassiter. It's hot and humid here in Oneonta. First pitch was just about the hottest we've had in quite some time here. 0-2 on the way from Howard. Taken up high, just misses with the fastball, and count moves to 1-2. It's 85 degrees in Oneonta right now, but feels like 87 with that 60% humidity. Ball should fly here tonight if anyone can get the bat on it. The 1-2. Chopped to the left side yet again. This one picked up by Maslow. This could be 2, and it is. 6-4-3 double play to end the inning, and the Lumberjacks only put 3 at the plate in the top of the first. It's 0-0 heading to the bottom of the first. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. It's Kanias Davis getting the warm-up tosses up and ready here to start the game on the mound for the Boonville Lumberjacks. Come into today with 5 appearances on the mound, 2 of them starts, 15 innings pitched with a 4.2 ERA, just 7 runs, all of them earned with 8 hits and 7 walks, also 11 strikeouts for the Alcorn State product. First batters he will face will be Chaz Wright, the second baseman, then Vincent Duffy, the right fielder, and Nolan Stark, the center fielder, to start the game for Oneonta. Fielding today, it's Noah Reed out in left, Will Hill in center, and Wyatt Lassiter in right. Then Swingham, Negron, Guy, and Beatty in the infield. Seth Bischoff is behind the plate with Bronx Lewis, the designated hitter, and Devon Abaga, the extra hitter. Presumably tonight it'll be Eli Negron coming out of the bullpen, so starting over at short, assuming that it'll be Abaga sliding into that defensive position if and when Negron should come in to pitch. So first batter up is Chaz Wright out of St. John's University. Starting at second base here tonight. Hasn't played against Boonville so far this summer. This is his first time against the Lumberjacks. The first pitch from Davis on the way. Taken up high, fastball misses for ball 1. Last game that Wright played was against Mohawk Valley a couple days ago. It's 1-for-4 day. As the next pitch, a fastball in there for called strike 1. Next pitch already on the way from Davis. Hit on the line to the left side. Negron's got it. Throw over to first in time as Beatty squeezes it and retires him for out number 1. So 1 down here in the bottom of the first. It brings up the right fielder, Vincent Duffy. And the interesting thing about the Oneonta Outlaws, obviously the Boonville Lumberjacks coming off of a loss last night in Glens Falls, but the Oneonta Outlaws coming off of a win against Boonville here just a couple days ago. Had 2 straight off days and been resting in preparation for this game. First pitch, off speed in there for strike 1 on Duffy. Duffy out of Seton Hall didn't play in the last Boonville game, but has seen the Lumberjacks twice this season as the next pitch is hit high into center field. Back on this one is Will Hill. He camps underneath it and squeezes it for out number 2. 2 quick outs here for Kanias Davis. It brings up the center fielder, Nolan Stark, now. Stark did play in that last Boonville game back on July 11th. Had 3 hits, a triple and a home run, as well as 4 RBIs and a walk. It's been a real killer, a thorn in the side of the Lumberjacks so far this season, and starts in the 3 spot here tonight. First pitch on the way from Davis. Fastball up high, misses for ball 1. Stark also had 7 innings pitched with just 1 earned run on July 4th against Boonville. Got the win in that one. 1-0 swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. He's had hits in 8 of his last 10 games. Next pitch, foul to the backstop. It's the first baseman, Carson Beatty, talking with the first base umpire right in front of me here. Lackadaisical as Kanias Davis has got everything under control. Here's the 1-2. That one taken just outside, 2-2 the count now. Stark, a UNC Wilmington commit, just finished up his senior year of high school here in Oneonta. Next pitch, down low in the dirt, bounces off of the mask of Seth Bischoff and makes a loud noise. Count moves to full. His last game, that one on July 11th, was Stark's best game of the season. It counted for 4 RBIs, but he does lead the team in that category. Next pitch is fouled off. Back behind the plate, and he stays alive. Davis waits for him to step in on the left side. Next pitch is coming now from Kanias Davis. In there for a call, 3rd strike. Nolan Stark doesn't like that call as he Looks over to the home plate umpire, but that's out number 3. Kanias Davis sets them down 1-2-3, and we head to the top of the second scoreless here on the Boonville Radio Network. We'll be right back for that second inning in just a moment. Lumberjacks back out trying to make something of this top of the second inning after going down in just 3 batters in the top of the first. It's Devon Abaga, the extra hitter, Elijah Negron, the shortstop, and Bronx Lewis, the DH, the 3 batters Boonville will put to the plate in this inning. Still Will Howard out on the mound to allow just 1 single in his first inning of work here tonight. And in steps Devon Abaga on the right side. Baga, a native of Seattle, Washington, long way from home, but has made himself quite comfortable this summer. First pitch, off speed, taken in there for a called strike. Last game that Abaga played was that loss last night. Pitched and hit in that one. As here comes the 0-1. Fouled off, just got a piece of that one to the backstop, and 0-2 the count now. In that game last night, had 2 at-bats, was 1 for 2 with an RBI double and a strikeout, as well as a hit by pitch. So here comes the next delivery from Howard. Fastball in there for a called third strike, and Devon Abaga goes down in 3 pitches. First strikeout of the day for Will Howard, and it brings up the shortstop Elijah Negron. Negron, another returner from the game last night. It's really been the same left side of the infield for head coach Christian Griffin in the last 10 games. It's been Negron and Swangham who already batted. First pitch, down low in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Meyer, and the count 1-0. Negron in that game last night was 0 for 3 with 1 walk. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball in there for called strike 1. The shortstop ready on the right side for this next pitch. Howard gets the sign from his catcher, and here it comes. Fouled again to the backstop. 1-2 the count now. Negron has played in 4 games so far this year against Oneonta. He's got 11 at-bats, 1 RBI, 2 walks, but no hits so far. Looking for what could be number 1 right here. The 1-2. Just gets a piece of that one, fouls it off right behind me, and the count remains 1-2. Negron also did have 1 pitching appearance against Oneonta, 3 scoreless innings just a couple days ago back at home. Could be called into action again here tonight. The 1-2. Down low, gets away from Meyer as that one pulled up on home plate by about 3 feet, and the count 2-2 now. He's been punched out in 6 of the last 9 games, but didn't have any last night in Glens Falls. Down to his last strike right here. 2-2 on the way. Hit high into right field, ranging towards the foul line is the right fielder, Duffy. This one's going to get down. Negron hustling around to second base. He's in there standing as they finally get the ball to the infield, but it's a double right there from Elijah Negron with one out and brings up the DH Bronx Lewis. Second hit of the day, first of extra bases for Boonville, and it brings up the oldest man in this lineup, Bronx Lewis. Just graduated from Concordia University, stands in on the left side. Stands at 6'2". Howard ready for the first pitch. Here it comes. Off speed outside for ball one. Lewis has reached base safely in 8 of the last 9 games, including 5 hits and 6 walks in that span. He's reached in 6 straight appearances. The 1-0. Just gets a piece of that one, swings late and fouls it to the backstop. 1-1 the count. Lewis, one of the best fielders on this team, particularly out in center field, but got the DH spot here tonight. Gets a little bit of rest on the legs. Stares back at the runner. Here's the 1-1. In there for strike 2. Humidity apparent here, as less fans than we usually see here at Damaski Field. Still pretty full ballpark though. Here's the 1-2. Just gets a piece yet again, fouls it above the Oneonta dugout, and the count moves 1-2. Oneonta dugout, interestingly, on the third base line, as opposed to usually where the home dugout is on the first base line. Long walk for those runners that ground and fly out and have to walk all the way back. But it's because of the sun here. Howard steps off and asks for time. He'll get it. Lewis with 6 games in a row with a strikeout. Looking to avoid one. Here's the 1-2. Down low, off speed, misses. 2-2 the count now. He's got 3 hits in his last 5 games, including a double last night against Glens Falls. Infield playing back, particularly on the middle. So here's the next pitch. Swung on and hit high into left field. This one going to be foul, however. Over the wall, right behind the Oneonta bullpen, and the count remains 2-2. It's Jonathan Tetzloff, the first base coach here today for Boonville. Usually see that spot rotated. Me and my co-commentator as well have served in that position. But it's the right-hander who pitched a couple days ago here in Oneonta, serving tonight. Howard ready for the 2-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Out in front of that one is Lewis, and that is out number 2 in this inning. Second strikeout of this inning already for Howard, and it brings up Will Hill. Hill taking Bronx Lewis's place out in center field so far tonight. Played in 20 games this season, 19 of them starts. He looks back at the runner Negron. Here's the first pitch. Taken up high, off-speed misses for ball 1. Hill has really ramped up his playing time as of late. Had just 1 start in 5 games, but since then, he's had 7 in 8. Starting number 8 here tonight. As here's the next pitch. Negron fakes going from second, pulls up on it, and that one a ball from Howard. 2-0 the count. Played his high school ball at Summer Creek High School down in Texas. Had over a 500 average as a senior. Offers from TCU, Georgia, and Tennessee, but ultimately chose the University of Texas. Here's the 2-0. Chopped down the left side. This one picked up by the third baseman Clark. Throw over is in time and gets Will Hill for out number 3. So they leave one stranded in scoring position. 2 strikeouts in the inning as well from Howard, and it's still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. 0-0 here in Oneonta. Heading to Kanias Davis out on the mound. We'll be right back after this break. Kanias Davis back out there for inning number 2 of work here in Oneonta. 3 batters he will face at a minimum: P.J. Strand, Stephen Clark, and the catcher over there, Matthew Meyer. First up is Strand, the left fielder out of Marist. First pitch from Davis, taken in there for strike 1. Strand hasn't played as a hitter so far this year against Boonville. Did pinch run as the next pitch to the backstop by Davis, 1-1. Was used as a pinch runner in the last game, but did not record an at-bat during the rest of that matchup. Next pitch, foul to the backstop, 1-2 the count now. It's Strand with a .323 batting average this year. 21 hits, 2 of them doubles, and 8 RBIs on the season. So here's the 1-2. Taken outside, fastball misses, 2-2 the count. Strand didn't play at all at Marist University in his freshman year. So here's the 2-2. Inside, fastball misses, 3-2 the count. Strand moves the legs out of the way, and the count runs full now. Here comes the payoff pitch. Down low, fastball misses, and Strand works the 6-pitch walk right there. First man on of the game for the Oneonta Outlaws, and it brings up the third baseman, Stephen Clark. Clark, the third baseman out of Emmanuel University, one of the few D2 players in this lineup. First pitch, taken in there for strike 1. Clark didn't play in the last Boonville game, but has played in 3 previous contests against the Lumberjacks this season. For next pitch, outside, misses. 1-1 the count as the train coming over here behind me. One, swing and a miss out in front of that one. Outlaws known for that signature train, as it's on their logo. The 1-2, swing and a miss out in front of that one. And Davis has his second strikeout of the day, first swinging. 1 out here for Matthew Meyer, the catcher. Of course, the Oneonta Outlaws logo it's the O. The one that you can see is just the O, but their full logo is the letters Oneonta Outlaws and then a train running underneath it. The train, one of the signatures of the Outlaw team, as the first pitch in there for a strike on the next batter, Meyer. Meyer out of SUNY Brockport, the Division III school, not too far from here. So here's the 0-1 as the runner goes from first, foul to the backstop. P.J. Strand will have to take the walk of shame back to first, and the count moves to 0-2 on Meyer. He's played in 2 games so far this year against Boonville. 9 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and 1 hit by pitch for the junior out of Commack, New York. 0-2 the count on him here. Next pitch as the runner doesn't go from first, but it's just outside. Fastball misses, 1-2 the count. Lights are coming on early here at Damaski Field, just 7:31 on the dot. Still plenty of sunlight. Here's the 1-2. Down low, misses, 2-2 the count. Meyer's got 10 strikeouts on the season. Had 2 of them in his last game played on July 9th against Mohawk Valley. Does have 3 walks as well, though. 2-2. Down low, misses, count runs full now. As we've mentioned in previous games, Boonville's bullpen is quite thin these days, and keeping the starter in for as long as possible is going to help this team stay in games and try and win one. The payoff pitch. Swung high behind home plate. Bischoff locates it, but it's out of play. Count remains full on Meyer. He's played in 17 games so far this season. .250 batting average with 15 hits, 1 double, 3 triples, and 5 RBI. Pick back, not in time by Davis. Beatty gets it and throws it back to his pitcher. In his junior year over at SUNY Brockport, Meyer had .288 average in 31 games played. Another pick back, not in time. Trying to keep the runner on his toes ahead of this payoff pitch. Davis looks back once more, but focuses on Meyer. Pick back again, not in there. No disengagement rules in the PGCBL. Kenais Davis can back pick as many times as he would like. Closer lead here from Meyer. Another pick back, number 4 is in there, safe. Strand tells him to pitch, and he does. Hit high into shallow right field. Coming in on this one is Lassiter, who makes the catch for out number 2. So it took 7 pitches and 4 picks back, but Matthew Meyer is finally retired for the second out of the inning, and it brings up the shortstop, Augie Maslow. Maslow out of St. Joseph's, Division I school. So here's the first pitch. In there for strike 1. Didn't play in the last Boonville game, but Maslow has played in 2 of them. He's 2 for 6 on the season with 2 RBIs against the Lumberjacks. Another pick back, number 5. Safe is Strand. Really trying not to get the pants dirty. Strand hasn't slid in. He's just tried to stick out the leg so far and get back in there safely. Next pitch is fouled off by Maslow. Count runs 0-2 now. Infield retreats from double play depth. Plays a little bit deeper on the grass here, as it was Maslow who had 1 hit in his last game. It was a triple. Here's the 0-2. In there for a called third strike, and Maslow is set down in 3 pitches to end the inning. Third strikeout of the day from Kenais Davis, and it stays scoreless here heading into the 3rd inning. It's going to be the Lumberjacks at the plate after this short break. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network. So it's still Howard back out there for inning number 3 of work against the Boonville Lumberjacks. For the Lumberjacks, it's going to be Carson Beatty, the first baseman, Noah Reed, the left fielder, and Seth Bischoff, the catcher, to start this 3rd inning, still scoreless here in Oneonta. First pitch on the way to the first baseman, Beatty. Hit to the right side, picked up quickly by Wright, the second baseman. Throw over is in time and retires him in 1 pitch for out number 1. So brings up the left fielder, Noah Reed, now. Reed has played in just 1 game against Oneonta. That was all the way back on May 30th. Has been sat in 4 games against the Outlaws since then. So here's the next pitch. Down low, called for strike 1. Reed in that 1 game was 1 for 3 with a double, had 2 RBIs and 1 strikeout. Howard takes a long pause before this 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. In there for strike 2. Noah Reed takes that one and quickly is down to his last strike. He's been punched out in 10 of his 15 games played this year, including 3 against Mohawk Valley back on June 7th. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss down low in the dirt. Gets him right there for out number 2, and it brings up the catcher and 10th hitter in this lineup, Seth Bischoff. Strikeout number 3 on the day for Will Howard, and it brings up Bischoff. So far, Bischoff in 15 games, a 179 average with 7 hits, 2 of them for extra bases. First pitch, chopped to the left side, but foul and out of play. Christian Griffin tries to field that one, fumbles it for a second, and finally picks it up and throws back to the pitcher, Howard. Bischoff, whose last game played came against Oneonta, was 1 for 4 with a single and 3 strikeouts in that game. Here comes the 0-1. Down low in the dirt, bounces way in front of home plate and off of the mask of the catcher, Meyer. Takes time to reset for a second before throwing the ball back to the pitcher, Howard, and the count 1-1. Bischoff did break up a no-hitter with a single in the 7th inning of a game against Utica. That was just about a week ago now. Here comes the next pitch. Hit into shallow left field, but foul. Would have been a hit for Bischoff had it been fair, but instead the count moves to 1-2. Half of Bischoff's 4 RBIs came off of a 2-run homer back against Mohawk Valley all the way at the start of the season. Early June. And has just 2 since then. Here comes the 1-2. Hit high into shallow center field. Coming in on this one is Stark, who makes the catch and retires him for out number 3. So the Lumberjacks go down 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. We are still scoreless heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. It's Kanias Davis still out there for inning number 3 of work against the Oneonta Outlaws, still scoreless here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's the bottom of the order for Davis, Gus Simon, Blake Fortunato, and the first baseman. It's going to be Alex Vezina for the Outlaws. In steps Simon, here's the first pitch. Outside for ball 1. Simon out of Madonna University, the NAIA school. Here's the next pitch, swing and a miss out in front of that one. 1-1 the count. Davis has been quick pitching here tonight. Already in the windup for the 1-1. Taken up high, fastball misses. Simon hasn't played in back-to-back games since June 1st and 2nd, but is here tonight. Next pitch down low by Davis. 2-1 the count. Has been on base in the last 3 games. First at bat here tonight. 3-1. Hits him. Takes that one on the lead quad of that right leg. And a hit by pitch. Second base runner of the day on for the Outlaws and brings up Blake Fortunato. But first, a meeting at the mound between Bischoff and Davis. Still, Davis just 1 walk and 1 hit by pitch allowed on the night for the right-hander. Stands down the lefty Blake Fortunato now. Another player out of SUNY Brockport. Here's the first pitch. Hit high back behind home plate. 0-1 the count. Fortunato's played 2 games against Boonville so far this season. He's got 2 hits and 3 at-bats, including a grand slam all the way back in the first time that these 2 teams met. So here's the 0-1. Just misses inside. 2-0 the count. Fortunato was the Empire 8 Rookie of the Week twice this season for SUNY Brockport. Next pitch, fouled off back behind the plate. Ended the season on a 9-game hitting streak and nearly had more games with multiple hits than single hits. It's ready for the 1-2. Here it comes as the runner goes from first. Pitch is outside for a ball and the throw not in time. Simon down there at second, safe with the first stolen base of the day for any team, and a runner in scoring position with no outs here for Fortunato. So far this summer, batting .163 in 15 games played, 7 hits, 2 of them for extra bases. The 2-2 steps off, makes sure that Simon back in there at second, and gets ready for the pitch again. Next pitch, as Davis stares down the runner, here it is. Outside, fastball misses, 3-2 the count now. Got to be careful, especially at the bottom of the order here, not to put 2 men on with no outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, especially with a scoreless game. The payoff pitch. Hit high into center field. Will Hill is ranging to his left and makes the catch for out number 2. Tagging from second to third is Simon. And that one nearly on the warning track for Hill. Simon in there with plenty of time. But Fortunato is down for out number 1, and it brings up Alex Vezenia. Venezia with a 139 average in 14 games played. Here's the first pitch, hits him on the top of the head. No, they're going to say it came off the bat. Foul ball, the call. Davis throws that off speed behind the back. Vezina just ducks down, and luckily for Davis, it hits the end of the bat. So an unorthodox strike 1 right there. Davis ahead with a runner on third. Next pitch, hit high into shallow right field. Coming over on this one in foul territory is Lassiter, and he'll just let that one fall. Would have been a run right there as Lassiter was squarely into foul territory in about mid-right field, so smart play right there, and Vezina goes down 0-2. Davis stares him down at home, hunting for strikeout number 4. Here comes the pitch. Up high, fastball misses as Vezina moves his head out of the way. Count moves to 1-2. Last game played was back on July 9th for the first baseman. So here's the next pitch. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. In there for strike 3 and punch out number 4 on the day for Davis. That's going to be out number 2, and the lineup flips over for Chaz Wright. I'll say that pitch was in the zone. He did not go, but a strikeout regardless, so just the 3rd strikeout looking on the day for Kanias Davis, and it's the leadoff man, Chaz Wright, back in there. First pitch on him, hit on the right side. Jihad Guy's got this one at second. Throw over to first is in time and gets him to end the inning. They leave a runner stranded at third, still scoreless going into the 4th inning. Evan Simbita on the Boonville Lumberjacks radio network. We'll be right back after this. Inning number 4 on the way from Will Howard, who's out there to face the top of the order for the Lumberjacks. Jihad Guy, Zeb Swingham, and Wyatt Lassiter. 1, 2, 3 for the Boonville Lumberjacks. First up, it's Guy, who singled to lead off the game in his first at-bat at just 1 of 2 hits so far in this game. First pitch from Howard. Hit high into center field. Going back just a couple steps on this one is Stark, and makes the catch for out number 1. Hit a long way right there from Guy, who usually isn't the biggest fly ball hitter, but just a long out right there, and it brings up the second hitter, Zeb Swingham. Swingham reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat today. Ultimately would be stranded there, however, as Wyatt Lassiter grounded into a double play after that. First pitch, in there for strike 1. Umpire has really given them the bottom of the zone here today. Seems like might be even a little bit below the knees in the strike zone. Here comes the 0-1. Hit down the left side. Third baseman Clark has got it. Throw over to first is offline. Vezina is off the bag as he has to corral that one down, but it doesn't get any further than that. First baseman stops the ball, and a error right there listed for the Oneonta Outlaws. Error number 2 on the day. They've got a runner on with just 1 out and brings up the right fielder, Wyatt Lassiter. Was a difficult throw right there for the third baseman, Clark. I think I would have given him a single on that one. But regardless, Lassiter digs in on the right side. Here's pitch number 1. Taken in there for strike 1. Howard has been taking advantage of hitters all night early in the count. It's been getting ahead in nearly every at-bat this game tonight. Next pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2 on Lassiter now. It's the right fielder who grounded into that double play in the first inning. Played in 22 games with a .250 batting average this season. Down 0-2 right here. The next pitch, up high, misses, 1-2 the count. Lassiter's got just 12 strikeouts so far this season. Very patient hitter, just 1 in his last 3 games. Looking to avoid a 4th right here. The 1-2. Just got a piece of that one off the inside of the bat, and the count remains 1-2. It's Lassiter who's played in 3 games against the Outlaws so far this season. It's 3 for 11 with 3 doubles. 1 RBI as well for the University of Mount Olive outfielder. Howard ready for the 1-2. Pick back at Swingham, not in time. Thrown back by the first baseman, Beniza. 1-2. Hit on the left side. That one going to get down in shallow left for a hit, but foul the call. Long strike right there, as that was a late foul call by the home plate umpire. Everyone was already on the way, Swingham on his way to third. But the count remains at 1-2. Lassiter has played in 9 of the last 12 games, despite having a bit of a crowded outfield room. Good opportunity here. The 1-2 hits him on the shoulder. He'll take that, being down 2 strikes, and the hit by pitch gives the Lumberjacks runners on first and second with just 1 out here for Devon Ibaga. First hit by pitch of the day from Will Howard, who's got to deal with 2 runners, one of them in scoring position right here. It's Ibaga who struck out looking to start the top of the second inning. Righty stares him down with the neon green bat gloves. Here's the first pitch. Off speed in there for strike 1. Ibaga was supposed to play ball at Seattle University. Had a spot there, but ultimately never went and played for the team. Now getting reps up in Boonville this summer. So here's the 0-1. Just gets a piece of that one, fouls it off, and the count 0-2. Ibaga pitched in that game last night against Glens Falls. Gave up 3 runs in 2 innings pitched. 2 hits, 2 walks, as well as going 1 for 2 at the plate with an RBI double. Had a walk and a hit by pitch in that game as well. 0-2 is on the way from Will Howard. In there for a called third strike. Ibaga knew it, immediately started walking back to the dugout, and that's strikeout number 2 on the day for the extra hitter, and brings up the shortstop, Elijah Negron. It's Negron who had a double in his first plate appearance today. Wouldn't mind another one of those. The righty Howard readies the pitch. Here it comes. Checks on it, in there for strike 1 though. Negron batting .209 this season. .388 slugging percentage on 14 hits, 3 homers, and 9 RBI. Here's the 0-1. Down low, misses. Catcher Meyer has to stand up and get on top of that one as the count moves to 1-1. There's runners on first and second. It's Zeb Swangham over there on second, who reached on an error by the third baseman Clark. And it's Wyatt Lassiter, who reached on a hit by pitch over on first. 2 outs here, 1-1 the count to the shortstop Elijah Negron. White's the pitch from the right side of the plate. Here it comes. Down low, thought about going on that one, but holds up on it, and the count 2-1 now. Negron's had just 2 hits in the last 5 games, one of them earlier in this game. Double back in the second inning. Ultimately, he would be stranded there, though. 2-1 on the way. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and the count quickly 2-2. Negron's also got just 1 strikeout in the last 3 games. He's been very patient at the plate. Down to his last strike right here, though, already with 1 swinging. Howard ready for it. Looks back at the runner. The 2-2. Inside, Negron turns the back to that one in defense, but it misses him, and the count runs full now. Howard's got to be careful here. A ball would walk the bases loaded for the designated hitter, Bronx Lewis, who almost had a home run the last time these 2 teams played. Words of encouragement from all of the Lumberjacks on base, as well as the first and third base coaches. Howard ready for the crucial delivery. The payoff pitch. Down low in the dirt. Negron thought about going, but held up yet again and draws the walk right here. Bases are loaded with 2 outs for the next man up, the designated hitter, Bronx Lewis. Just the first walk of the game for the pitcher, Will Howard. And it's Swangham on third, Wyatt Lassiter on second, and Elijah Negron out on first. Bronx Lewis, a 6'2" lefty, standing in on that left side, struck out swinging in his first plate appearance so far today. There's a meeting at the mound between the catcher Meyer and the pitcher Will Howard. Got to be careful here. It's still scoreless with runners on every base here. 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Already 5 Lumberjacks have been to the plate in this frame. 1 through 5 hitters, and up comes the 6th hitter in the order, Bronx Lewis. First pitch on the way. Down low, misses for ball 1. Lewis has just 1 RBI in the last 10 games. It's been a while since he batted a man in, but would love to do one right here. He's got a prime opportunity with the bases loaded. 1-0 on the way. Takes an off-speed in there for strike 1. 1-1 the count now. Lewis has had 3 hits in his last 5 games. Hasn't had one yet tonight, though. Will Howard stares him down, selects the grip for this next pitch. And here it comes. Chopped high back behind home plate, and that one gets out of play for a foul ball. 1-2 the count now on Lewis. Senior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's Negron on first, Lassiter on second, and Swangham out on third. All of them with moderate leads. Infield is playing back for the Outlaws here, just trying to get any base and any out they can to escape the inning. Next pitch. Hit high back behind home plate yet again, and the count remains 1-2. Lewis had to come in and pitch against Utica back on July 6th. Had 1 inning pitched with 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and no walks for the lefty. He's ready for the 1-2 for the second time. Howard gets the sign. Here comes the pitch. In there for, oh no, that's outside for ball 2, excuse me. Lewis started walking back to the dugout, but retreated once he heard the call. So a close pitch misses. Lewis has got a new lease on life in this at-bat, 2-2 the count. Runs have been at a premium for the Lumberjacks during the last 2 weeks, as they've got the bases loaded right here. The 2-2. Down low yet again, misses, and the count runs full now. That slider was in the dirt. As head coach Christian Griffin barking out orders at his men, everyone is going on this pitch no matter what. As it's full now on Lewis. Crucial pitch in this game from the pitcher, Will Howard. It's been a chess match of an at-bat against Bronx Lewis. Here comes the payoff pitch. Runners go. Swing and a miss out in front of that one. Slider down low gets Lewis to go, and they leave him loaded here in the top of the first. Nearly halfway through this game, still scoreless, heading into the bottom of the first. It's 0-0 here at Demaski Field in Oneonta. Head to the bottom of the fourth with Kanias Davis back out on the mound right after this. Kanias Davis back out there for inning number 4 of work against the Oneonta Outlaws. They'll have to face the top of the order for this team. It's Vincent Duffy, the right fielder, Nolan Stark, the center fielder, and P.J. Strand, the left fielder. Has to face the full outfield at a minimum in this inning. It's still scoreless in the bottom of the fourth. 4-verse pitch on the way. Taken in there for strike 1 by Vincent Duffy. It's Duffy, a Nanuet, New York native. Flew out to center in his first at-bat today. Here's the 0-1. In there for strike 2. Off speed just clips the outer part of the plate. And quickly down to his last strike. Duffy leads the team in the minimum amount of strikeouts for qualified hitters, just 6. As here's the 0-2. Just gets a piece of that one, fouls it off of his inner leg, and has to limp that one off. He's got just 1 strikeout in the last 4 games. He's been very patient at the plate. No Ks against Boonville this year in 2 games played. Davis attacking the zone early in this at-bat, though. Trying to force something out of Duffy. Stands in there on the right side, awaiting this 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Little half swing right there from Duffy as he couldn't make up his mind on that pitch, and it is out number 1. Puts him down swinging for strikeout number 5, and it brings up the center fielder, Nolan Stark. It's Kanias Davis who entered this game with just 11 strikeouts in 15 innings pitched on the mound so far this season, but has already racked up 5 in just over 3 innings of work. First pitch on Nolan Stark misses outside. 1-0 the count, as here's the next pitch. That one misses again off speed. 2-0 the count. It's Stark who struck out looking in his first plate appearance today. Next pitch, swung on and hit into shallow center field. Hill coming in on this one, but he won't be able to grab it. Skips about 2 feet in front of the center fielder and gets down for a single. Nolan Stark in there at first, and they've got a man on with just 1 out. In comes P.J. Strand, the left fielder, who walked in his first plate appearance today. Digs in on the right side. 6'5", 213 out of Marist. First pitch on him down low in the dirt, but the runner Stark does not move. Davis has had a quick tempo out there on the mound tonight. Slightly less so with runners on. He's got a man at first now, just slowing it up. Strand didn't play at all in his freshman year over at Marist, had no at-bats and no appearances in his first year. Here comes the 1-0. Hit high, back behind home plate. 1-1 the count now. Strand was a pinch runner against Boonville in their last game just a couple of days ago, but hasn't had any at-bats before tonight. Davis gets a new baseball and awaits the 1-1. Here it comes. In there for strike 2. Off-speed clips the upper part of the zone and quickly Strand down to his last strike. He's got 19 punch-outs on the year in 19 games. None yet today. The next pitch, swung on and hit into shallow center. That one gets down for a single as well. Hill picks it up quickly, and Stark can't get to third, but it's back-to-back singles for the Oneonta Outlaws and brings up the third baseman, Nolan Stark. It's the first 2 hits that Kenai Davis has allowed so far today, and brings up the third baseman, Clark, who struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. 2 runners on, just 1 out here in this bottom of the 4th inning. It's still 0-0. Boonville Lumberjacks against the Oneonta Outlaws. Next pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Out in front of that one is Clark. He didn't play in the last game against Boonville, but is 2 for 7 on the season in 3 total games played against the Lumberjacks this season. Next pitch. Taken in there for strike 2. Clark, that strikeout earlier in this game was his second so far this season against Boonville. Both of them the swinging variety. The 0-2. Hit high down the first base line. That one is going to get foul and out of play. Bounces into the Boonville bullpen down there, and they'll have an extra baseball. So the count remains 0-2 on Clark here. Redshirt freshman out of Cumming, Georgia. Lots of these Boonville players out of Georgia due to ties with head coach Christian Griffin. Davis out there on the mound, a Georgia native himself. He deals the 0-2. Swing and a miss out in front of that one and gets him for a clutch out number 2. Second strikeout of the inning and 6th on the day for Kenai Davis, and it brings up the catcher, Matthew Meyer. Second punch out of the day for Stephen Clark as well, and brings up the catcher Meyer, who flew out to right in his first plate appearance. First pitch, inside, misses for ball 1. Meyer's got 9 at-bats in 2 games played against the Lumberjacks this season. None of those hits for extra bases. So here comes the 1-0. Taken up high, that time for a ball. Just outside. 2-0 the count on the Commack, New York native. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss out in front of that one and down to one knee. And Meyer still ahead in this count, though, 2-1. He's played in 17 games this season, .250 batting average with 15 hits. So here comes the 2-1. Fouled off again. And the count all even now, 2-2. It's P.J. Strand on first, Nolan Stark on second, both reached via the single. 2 outs, both via the punch-out for Kanias Davis, working with the 2-2 count against Matthew Meyer. Here comes the pitch. Skied high down the first base line. This one over towards me, and it's just behind me, off of the stands right there. I tried to make a catch on that one, but it's just a bit out of my reach. So the count remains 2-2 on Matthew Meyer. Bit of a scare for me right there, as I had a foul ball hit just about a foot to the left of me last time we were here just a couple days ago. Couldn't make the catch on that one either. So reason I'm on the mic and not out in the field. 2-2 on the way. Chop to the left side. This one picked up by Guy. Throw over to first on in time. And he gets the runner there for out number 3, so they leave 2 stranded here. It's still scoreless heading into the 5th inning. 0-0 the ball game score as we go to the top of the 5th. Be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. First pitching change of the day comes by the Oneonta Outlaws. It's Will Howard, whose day is done. 4 innings pitched with 2 hits and 1 walk. 4 strikeouts as well for Howard. No earned runs in this one. And now in comes Asa Dugan, the pitcher right-hander for the Oneonta Outlaws. Comes into this game with 7 appearances, 1 of them a start. 21.1 innings pitched with a 3.8 ERA. 11 runs, 9 of them earned, for 21 hits and 5 walks, also 15 strikeouts. Dugan has seen the Boonville Lumberjacks. That's where his only start of the season came, all the way back on May 30th. 6 1/3 innings pitched with 1 earned run, 4 hits, as well as 1 walk for the pitcher. He'll have to face the bottom of the lineup for the Boonville Lumberjacks. Will Hill, Carson Beatty, and Noah Reed out there, as it's Will Hill first, as before that there's going to be a meeting at the mound between Meyer and Dugan. They have discussed the plan of action. It's Will Hill out there first, to ground it out in the first plate appearance today. Stands in on the right side with the bright red bat. Here comes the first pitch. Takes fastball way up high. Meyer has to reach up the glove as high as he can to grab that one, and the count 1-0. Next pitch on the way from Dugan. Gets a piece of that one, but barely. Fouls it to the backstop, and the count 1-1. It's Will Hill, who's got a .203 batting average, .301 on base, with 13 hits and 1 home run on the season. Here comes the 1-1. Down low in the dirt, misses. 2-1 the count. His power is starting to come through for Will Hill, who It's kind of getting teams to take notice. Had Amsterdam kind of walk and pitch around him in the last time those two teams played. 2-1. Misses up high yet again, and that might be happening right here. Had 2 walks in that game. They kind of pitched around him. Did ground out in the first at-bat, but is ahead 3-1 in this count. Here comes the pitch. Takes up high, and a 5-pitch walk right there for Will Hill. He's on for the first time today, and it brings up the first baseman, Carson Beatty. First walk allowed of the day in the first batter by Asa Dugan, and brings up Beatty, who grounded out in his first plate appearance today. Looks back at the runner, Will Hill, on first before coming set. Here's the pitch. Swung off the end of the bat into right field. That one gets down for a single, picked up quickly by Duffy, and got that one in to the second baseman right. It's a no-out single right there for Carson Beatty, though, who does his signature DJ celebration. Runners on first and second, no outs for Noah Reed. It's Reed who struck out swinging in his first plate appearance with a great RBI opportunity. Dugan ready for the pitch, steps off and takes time though. Reed's been on base in 7 of the last 9 games. He's got 7 hits in the last 7 though, including 2 games with 3 hits each. Ready for the first pitch from Dugan, here it comes. Shows bunt, gets that one off the end of the bat though, and pushes that one foul. Infield remains a little bit in, corners pinched for the Outlaws, as it's the catcher taking notice as well, propping up, waiting this next pitch. It's 0-1 the count now on Reed. Dugan comes set, shows bunt yet again, pulls back though. It's a ball. Picked back to second base, is not in time as the second baseman right didn't even move toward the bag. Will Hill slides back in there head first, and the count 1-1. Reed ready for it on the right side of the plate. Here comes the pitch, shows bunt yet again, gets it down the first base line, picked up by the first baseman, but no one's covering. The pitcher, Asa Dugan, completely forgot to go cover the bag, as it was Vezina who picked up that one, and the Lumberjacks have the bases loaded for the second straight inning. Crucial error right there. They'll call it a hit for Noah Reed, though. He won't mind. And now plus speed on third and first. It's Will Hill over on third, Carson Beatty at second, and Noah Reed at first. Next batter up is the catcher, Seth Bischoff, with a great opportunity to break the deadlock right here. Dugan stares him down as Bischoff digs in on the right side. Here's the first pitch. Taken in there for strike 1. Lumberjacks left him loaded in the last inning off of a walk hit by pitch and an error, but ultimately need to cash in here in a game that is still 0-0. Next pitch, swung on and hit high into left field. Underneath this one is Strand, who makes the catch for it. No, out number 1, but tagging towards home is Will Hill. There will be no throw, and he is in there safely. Lumberjacks take a 1-0 lead as no one else can advance on that fly ball, but Seth Bischoff does the job. Lumberjacks grab the first run of this game and are ahead 1-0. So crucial right there, but they've still got runners on first and second. Lumberjacks not done yet as the lineup flips back over. It's Jihad Guy up now. It's Hill who scored, Carson Beatty still on second, and Noah Reed still on first. First offering as Guy shows bunt, gets it down the first base line. No one covering yet again, and he's in there safely. The Oneonta dugout not happy at that play, as it was Asa Dugan who kind of just was caught in between two minds right there. And they've got the bases juiced yet again. Still just 1 out in the inning for the third baseman, Zeb Swangham, and there's going to be a meeting at the mound. It's the pitcher, Asa Dugan, who has forgot to cover the bag twice in 2 bunt attempts in this inning. It's really come to bite him. Hypothetically, if he covers both times, those are 2 outs and the inning is over, but instead, it's bases loaded, just 1 out here in this inning. Jihad Guy speedy over there on first. Noah Reed, another fast guy, out on second, but the big first baseman, Carson Beatty, out on third. It's Zeb Swangham at the plate, who is grounded into a fielder's choice and reached on an error so far today. Already 4 hits in the inning for the Lumberjacks. Swangham digs in on the right side. Here comes the first pitch. Off speed, misses down low in the dirt. Covered up by the catcher Mayer, though. And thrown back to the pitcher. 1-0 the count. Swangham out of UNC Asheville, the Division I school. Here's the next pitch. Hit high to the infield. This one going to stay, and that's the infield fly rule. Augie Maslow, the shortstop, makes the catch for out number 2. Wouldn't have mattered even if he had dropped that one. And there's 2 gone for the third man in the order, Wyatt Lassiter. Dejected, Swangham walks back to the dugout. Crucial opportunity gone, though. Still a 1-0 lead for the Lumberjacks here in the top of the 5th inning. Bases still loaded. 2 outs now, though, for Wyatt Lassiter. Already the 7th batter up in this inning. Here's the first pitch. Fastball taken up high for ball 1. Lassiter so far today grounded into a double play to end the first inning, then was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Ultimately would be stranded at second. Maslow ready for the 1-0. Here it comes. That one off speed in there for strike 1. It's Swangham who's been on base, or Lassiter, excuse me, who's been on base safely in the last 3 games. All of them via single. Next pitch. Hit into left field. Going back on this one is Strand, and he can't make the catch. That one to the wall. 1 run scores as another waved around. Now it's a third coming around. He's got to watch out, as into second safely is Wyatt Lassiter. It was Jihad Guy who was running on the heels of Noah Reed right there, hustling around third. And that is a 4-0 lead for the Lumberjacks. 3 RBI double right there for Wyatt Lassiter. And they take the lead in this game. Up comes Devon Abaga, still a man in scoring position here. 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch on him. Fastball taken up high, 1-0. Abaga so far today struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. Maslow, here's the next pitch. Taken up high for ball 2. Abaga played in that game last night, pitched and hit. That's not the first time we've seen him do that so far this season. Was asked of him against Mohawk Valley as well back in the first game of the season. Here's the next pitch. Just gets that one off the end of the bat right to the first base coach, Tyson Harmon, who throws right back to the pitcher. Dugan's got it, and the count moves to 2-1. Abaga digs in again on the right side, twirls the bat around a couple times. Finally comes ready for the pitch. Here it is. Off speed in there for strike 2. So Abaga down to his last. Already struck out twice in this game. Doesn't want to go down with a third. Dugan ready for the 2-2. Stares down Abaga. Looks back at the runner. Here's the pitch. Down low, off speed, misses, and the count runs full. It's already 4 runs surrendered by Dugan, all of them earned. 4 hits, 1 walk in the inning. Only 2 outs via sac fly and pop out. Here's the 3-2. hit high into center field. Going back on this one is Stark on the track, but makes the catch for out number 3 and ends the inning. But the Lumberjacks jump out to a commanding 4-0 lead here in this one. They lead the Outlaws for the first time on the road so far this season, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. Inning number 5 of work on the way from Kenais Davis. The workhorse pitcher continues to work through the Oneonta lineup. Still scoreless on the Outlaws side. It's 4-0 the lead for the Boonville Lumberjacks here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3 batters that Davis will have to face in this one. It's going to be Augie Maslow, Gus Simon, and Blake Fortunato. Here comes the first pitch. Taken inside. Fastball misses for ball 1. It's Maslow who struck out in his only previous appearance today, as the next pitch misses as well. Davis confused about the call there, calling it ball, strike. I'm going to call that a ball as he comes set yet again out on the mound. Here's the next delivery. That one, fastball up high, 3-0 the count now on Davis, whose hat keeps coming off. Finally readjusts it, and here's the 3-0. Misses for ball 4. Davis not happy with the call as that one just a little bit low. And a 4-pitch walk right there for Augie Maslow, just Kenais Davis's second of the day. And they've got a leadoff man on. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it brings up Gus Simon. Simon, who was hit by a pitch in his only previous at-bat today. First pitch on him, down low for ball 1. Wearing the number 3 out there, playing the extra hitter role tonight. Next pitch, in there for a called strike 1. Simon's only previous game against the Lumberjacks came on July 4th. Was 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 RBIs on that day. The 1-1. Hit in the left side of the infield. This one picked up by Negron. Long throw to first and not going to be in time. Beatty couldn't handle the throw, but it wouldn't have been in time either way. And the runner, Maslow, complaining about something. I think he's trying to say Jihad Guy was standing in his way, and he would have liked to have gone to third on that play, but don't think he would have made it either way. So runners first and second. No outs here for Blake Fortunato. An infield single, they'll call that one for Simon. Probably the right call. Already 2 errors on the Lumberjacks, as there's going to be a discussion here between the home plate umpire and the second base umpire. Looks like we might get a decision on Maslow, who is very adamant that he was blocked from going to third. There was absolutely no time for him to break for the third base bag, and they're just going to tell him to stay there. Got to do whatever you can if you're the Lumberjacks to win. It was Jihad Guy who just kind of came over the bag, went from second to short to kind of get in the way of Maslow, but gets away with it right there. So in steps the lefty. Fortunato flew out in his only at-bat so far today. Here's the first pitch. skied high down the third base line. This one also coming towards me. It's just about one stall in front of me here down that first base line, and the count 0-1. It was Jihad Guy and Carson Beatty covering, trying to make that play. Both of them lose their hats, but neither of them can make the catch. So 0-1 the count now. Runners on first and second. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's the 9-hole hitter Fortunato at the plate. 0-1 the count. Here's the next pitch from Davis. Hit high into shallow center field. Coming in is Will Hill, who calls off Jihad Guy. He makes the catch, and no one can tag. Will Hill nonchalantly gets the throw into Elijah Negron, and a crucial out number one right there. So it's Alex Venezia, the first baseman, up in the box now. Struck out looking in his only plate appearance as he digs in from the right side with orange batting gloves and a black bat. Dark red helmet for him as well. Here's the first pitch. Taken up high for strike one. 0-1 the count. Venezia, this is his second game played against the Lumberjacks so far this season. So here's the next pitch. Up high, fastball misses. Only previous one was on July 4th, where he was 1 for 2, had a double as well as a hit by pitch. He's down 0-1 right here. Next delivery from Davis. Misses up high yet again. 2-1 the count now. Over at St. Joseph's University, Venezia had a 170 average in 44 games played. As here comes the 2-1. Down low, check swing, but doesn't go, and the count moves to 3-1 now. There's been just 2 walks allowed on the day by Kanias Davis. One of them came in the second inning. One of them is Maslow out on second base. Here's the next pitch. Up high, misses yet again, and that's walk number 3 on the day. Bases are loaded now with just 1 out, and the lineup flips over. It's the leadoff man, Chaz Wright, and there's going to be a meeting out here between the infield and Kanias Davis. Walks haven't really been the issue so far tonight for Davis. It's just 3 walks, 2 hits, and 6 strikeouts so far. Got to be careful with Chaz Wright. He hasn't really done anything tonight. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out, but on the season is batting .200, 4 RBIs with just 15 at-bats, and a golden opportunity for more right here. Stands in on the left side. Bright red helmet as he's out of St. Joseph's University. First pitch, an off-speed in there for strike 1. Didn't play at St. John's, though, but did get the helmet. Here's the 0-1. Down low, off-speed misses, and the count 1-1 now. Played in the last game for Oneonta back against Mohawk Valley on July 9th. Was 1 for 4 with the walk. That one up high. Bischoff lucky to get a glove on that one. Stands up and swipes at it, and the count moves to 2-1. Davis calms himself down out on the mound. Comes set for the next pitch. Here it comes. In there for strike 2. Fastball right down the middle. And Wright knew that one. 2-2 the count. He's down to his final strike. He's already struck out 8 times in 15 at-bats so far this season. Here comes the 2-2. Just misses outside. Davis froze, as I think most of this stadium did, in anticipation of that call, but it runs full now, and he's got to be careful or else he'll walk in a run. Crucial payoff pitch as Chaz Wright calls time, wants to think things over. He's struck out in every game he's played so far this season. Doesn't have one yet in this contest. Davis would love punch out number 7 right here for out number 2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop, and the count remains full. didn't report until June 27th. He had 2 walks in his first game against the Saugerties Stallions. He's played in 15 games since then. Here's the payoff pitch. Down low in the dirt, skips off of the foot of right. Doesn't really matter though, that's ball 4, and Davis walks in the first run of the game. It's 1-4. Oneonta crawling back into this one. Still just 1 out here in the inning, as it's the number 2 hitter, Vincent Duffy. Already walk number 3 on the inning for Kanias Davis in his 5th inning of work. Right's on for the first time today, and in comes Duffy. Here's the first pitch. Down low, off speed, misses for ball 1. It's Duffy, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out and a strikeout swinging so far for the right fielder. He's ahead of this count, 1-0. Here's the pitch from Davis. Just misses with the off speed, and the count 2-0 now. Duffy didn't play against the Boonville Lumberjacks in their last game, as here's the 2-0. Up high, misses yet again, and Davis really got to be careful now with the 3-0 count. 3-0 the count. The next pitch in there for strike 1. It's Duffy with a .375 batting average this season in 21 games played. Leads the Outlaws in that category. Here's the 3-1. Chop down the left side. That one going to get down for a single. 1 run scores as another being waved home. Finally picked up by Noah Reed. Hustling towards third is Chaz Wright. And in there with a stand-up double is Vincent Duffy. They cut the deficit to 1. It's 4-3. Outlaws with just 2 runners in scoring position still in this game and 1 out. And brings up Nolan Stark, the center fielder. That ball absolutely smoked down the third base line. Had extra bases written all over it. Noah Reed, the left fielder, able to get it in quickly, so Wright couldn't score, but now just hanging on to a 1-run lead here in this game. It's Nolan Stark, the center fielder, stepping in on the left side. Here's the first pitch. Just misses outside, 1-0 the count. Davis not happy with that call as he smiles and laughs, walking around the mound. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Out in the dirt, way out in front of that pitch, and the count 1-1. Stark so far 1 for 2 on the day. Strikeout and a single. Single came in the 4th, and he would be stranded at second. Here comes the 1-1. Chopped on the ground to the right side. Guy can't handle this one. 1 run scores as another being waved home. Quickly got in by Wyatt Lassiter. And that is going to be the lead gone for the Lumberjacks. It's 5-3 as Oneonta out on top now. Still a runner on first with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Head coach Christian Griffin coming out here to talk to Kanias Davis, who's surrendered all of those 5 runs here in the 5th inning. Still a runner on first. Just 1 out, and the batter now, P.J. Strand, the left fielder. That one just took an unfortunate hop right there in front of the second baseman, Jihad Guy. Went down to a knee as he thought that one was going to be in the dirt, but as soon as it left the grass, it kind of popped up above the head and already on one knee. Guy couldn't do anything about it. It was Chaz Wright going from third to home and Vincent Duffy following right behind him, second to home plate. And all of a sudden that Lumberjack lead gone. They trail by 1. It's 5-4. So it's P.J. Strand looking to keep passing the stick for the Oneonta Outlaws. 1 for 1 on the day, single as well as a walk. First pitch as the runner goes from first, chopped high to the infield. Taking this one is Beatty, but he dropped it in foul territory. Couldn't make the catch. That certainly would have been an inning-ending double play, but the big first baseman couldn't handle it. Nolan Stark catches a lucky break as he had no idea where that ball was. Certainly would have been doubled off if Beatty could have caught it. But another unlucky break for the Lumberjacks. 0-1 the count on the batter, P.J. Strand. The next pitch, swing and a miss out in front of that one. And the count 0-2 now. Strand in 19 games this year with a .323 batting average. 0-2 the count to him here. Davis deals. Just got a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop, and the count remains 0-2. Just about an hour and 45 minutes past first pitch here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Oneonta on top 5-4. Here's the 0-2. Skied high to the infield. Underneath this one is the second baseman, Jihad Guy, who calls off Carson Beatty and makes the catch for out number 2. It's Kanias Davis, the pitcher, who lost his hat on that one. Has to walk back to the pitcher's mound to find it. But finally out number 2 here in this inning and brings up the third baseman, Stephen Clark. Already 8 batters in this inning. This is number 9, as in comes Clark. 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. First pitch. Just in there for strike 1. Strand out of Marist, a Division I MAAC school. Next pitch, swing and a miss in the dirt. Tried to hold up on it and goes down quickly, 0-2. Presumably this is Davis's last inning of work as the Boonville bullpen right behind me getting active. Next pitch, swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes for Davis, who ends the inning, but not before the Lumberjacks erase the 4-run deficit. It's 5-4 as they break Kanias Davis down near the dugout. That's probably his day, and we head to the 6th inning. Lumberjacks trail by 1. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. Just 1 inning of work for Asa Dugan. His day is done after giving up 4 innings in that last inning. Just 1 full inning of work with 4 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts for Dugan. And in comes the next pitcher, Colby Lintel. They saw him just a couple of days ago here in the last game played. Had 1 1/3 innings pitched with 1 walk and no earned runs. Comes into the season with 2 appearances, 0.00 ERA and 4 2/3 innings pitched. No runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He's going to have to face the middle of the order for the Lumberjacks. It's Devon Abaga, Elijah Negron, and Bronx Lewis. Interesting, we just saw Elijah Negron come to the bullpen just a couple seconds ago, but he's going to be in to start this inning, at least on deck. They're going to put him back in the dugout as he warms up to hit. Presumably, if he comes in, it would be Devon Abaga sliding over to short. And then Negron in the extra hitter spot for the rest of the night. So here comes Negron, the first batter. So far 1 for 1 on the day, excuse me. Double as well as a walk in this one. Stands in on the right side against Lintel. Here comes the first pitch. Chops it to the left side. This one picked up by the shortstop Maslow. Throw is not in time. Negron beats it out down the first base line for an infield single, and they have a man on to start the inning. It was a tough throw there by the shortstop Maslow, who had to backhand that one and throw across the diamond with momentum against him. And the Lumberjacks with one on here, no outs for the lefty Bronx Lewis. First pitch. Shows bunt, pulls back, and that ball misses. 1-0 the count. Lewis so far 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, both of them swinging for the Concordia product. Here comes the next pitch from Lintel. Skied high down the first base line. This one is going to be catchable for the first baseman, Vezina, who makes the play. That is out number 1 in the inning, and it brings up the center fielder, Will Hill. We've seen quite a lot of foul outs to the first baseman, particularly with 3 in the Utica game for the Lumberjacks. We're able to escape those last night against Glens Falls, but another one right there. So in steps Will Hill on the right side. Shin guard and elbow guard on. Here's the pitch. Taken up high for strike 1. So far on the day, Will Hill with a ground out and a walk would come around to score as the first run in this game last inning. Lintel looks back at Negron over on first. Focuses on Hill now. The 0-1. That's not going to be a balk, despite everyone on the Lumberjack side calling for it. Will Hill completely stepped out before the pitch was even thrown, but they're going to call that one a strike. Whole Lumberjack dugout was begging for the balk call, but Lintel gets away with one right there. So 1-1 the count. Looks back at the runner Negron yet again. Comes set, pick back, not in time. Lumberjacks had their first pickoff of the season last night. It was the pitcher Jonathan Tetzloff who got a man at second base in that Glens Falls game. As here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack right there by Will Hill, but can't find contact and goes down 1-2. Hill transferring to Wharton Junior College. Feature story on him dropped by our reporter Brady Foxwell. You can check that out on our Instagram and Facebook. Lintel steps off and asks for time. It's an interesting story on Hill, who's quite a ways away from home. Didn't get any at-bats at the University of Texas. Ultimately came to Boonville searching for playing time. He's got a good opportunity here. 1-2 with a runner on first. The next pitch in there for a called third strike. Late call by the home plate umpire, but that is out number 2. Hill goes down on strikes. It's the first of the night for Lintel and brings up Carson Beatty, the first baseman. Beatty, who singled in his last plate appearance, but grounded out in the first. Steps in on the left side. 6'5", 240 pounds out of Kalamazoo College. Here's the first pitch. Down low in the dirt, 1-0. Beatty played in that Glens Falls game last night, was 0 for 4, had 3 strikeouts as well in that one. Not the first baseman's best day at the plate. 1-0. In there for strike 1. 1-1 the count now on Beatty. He's ramped up his playing time with 7 starts in the last 8 games. Starting another one here tonight. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch as the runner goes from first, but Negron trips himself up as that one fouled off. Thought about breaking, couldn't get any traction on the ground, and ultimately had to break back for first, but luckily a foul ball. 1-2 the count on Beatty. Usually a ground ball hitter, but no double play threat here with 2 outs. The 1-2. High fastball, 2-2 the count. It's Negron out on first, 2 outs, 2-2 the count. Oneonta leads it 5-4 here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch from Lintel. Taken high and the count runs full. Beatty's reached only once today on the single. He's primarily a slap hitter. Likes to draw the walk and hit the single. Big on base percentage guy. Here's the payoff pitch. Up high, way up high. The fastball misses from Lintel. And Beatty is on for the 2nd time tonight. Single and a walk, and it brings up Noah Reed, the left fielder. First walk of the night for Lintel, as well as there's going to be a meeting at the mound between Mayer and the pitcher. In comes Noah Reed now, the left fielder, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Strikeout and a single so far for the Alabama native. Out of North Central Texas College, he's just graduated from the JUCO school. Injuries robbed him of 2 seasons of college ball. Only had a freshman season where he went 207 in 18 games. 39 ABs and 8 hits. First pitch on him by Lintel. Takes it off speed in there for strike 1. Reed's had just 1 RBI in the last 11 games. Good opportunity here with the runner in scoring position. Next pitch, in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count now. That 1 lone RBI came back on July 8th against Glens Falls. As here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Got him for out number 3, and the Lumberjacks leave 2 stranded. It's the 3rd inning in a row. They've left a man stranded in scoring position, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Oneonta out on top. It's 5-4 as the Lumberjacks try and find a lifeline. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network after this. So, as expected, Kanias Davis's day is done. 5 innings of work for the right-hander with 5 earned runs on 2 hits and 4 walks, 6 strikeouts as well for the Alcorn State product. And now it brings up Mason Michael from the bullpen. 3 games played so far in this PGCBL season. He's got a 5.97 ERA with 3 runs, all of them earned, as well as 4 hits and 2 walks. Warming up out there on the mound, the right-hander, and he'll have to face the bottom part of the Oneonta order. It's the catcher, Matthew Meyer, Augie Maslow, and then Gus Simon, the extra hitter. Michael didn't feature in the bullpen too much in the beginning of the year, as mainly was sat. Had his first appearance against Glens Falls in the game that the Dragons would ultimately forfeit, and since then has featured out of the bullpen intermittently and has been finding success, particularly in his last couple appearances. So first batter he faces is the catcher Matthew Mayer. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out and a ground out. Steps in on the right side. Out of SUNY Brockport, the Division III school. Junior out of Commack, New York. Played in the Mohawk Valley game on July 9th. That was his last appearance. Went 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts in that one. Mason Michael ready for the delivery. Here comes the first pitch. That one plunks the batter Meyer right there. Luckily it was an off speed and already a man on, hit by pitch and one to deal with Augie Maslow at the plate. So it's Maslow up, the shortstop now. 0 for 1 on the day, strikeout as well as a walk. First pitch from Michael, way outside. Bischoff has to dive at that one and the count 1-0. Michael out of the NAIA, member of the Defiance College baseball team. So here comes the 1-0. In there for strike one. It's Maslow, who didn't play in the last Boonville game, but has played against these Lumberjacks twice this season. He's 2 for 6 with 2 RBIs and 2 walks. Here comes the 1-1. That one just misses on the outside corner. 2-1 the count now. Carries a .240 average into this game with a .377 on-base percentage. Digs in on the right side. Here comes the 2-1. Up high, misses. Fastball outside for Michael, and the count 2-2 now. Out of St. Joseph's, the Division I school. Got to play in 11 games as a freshman. 18 at-bats with 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Here's the pitch. Up high, and he draws the walk. 5 pitches right there from Mason Michael, and runners on first and second. Still no outs here for Gus Simon, the extra hitter. It's Elijah Negron warming up in the bullpen as well, as there's a meeting at the mound between Bischoff, the head coach Christian Griffin, and Mason Michael. The whole infield's going to want to get in on this one. It's Simon, the extra hitter, batting in the 8th spot here tonight. He's reached both times. It's been hit by pitch and single so far. Going to want to be careful with him, as it's going to be Negron coming out from the bullpen, and that will do it for Mason Michael. Just 2 batters faced, put both of them on, and that'll do it from the freshman out of Defiance College. Early pitching change here in this one. Christian Griffin goes to his bullpen, and we'll step aside for the pitching change on the Boonville Radio Network. Be right back after this. So it's Elijah Negron out there on the mound to replace Mason Michael after he faced just 2 batters. So far on the season, Negron's only featured in 1 game, went 3 scoreless innings with 1 hit and 2 walks allowed, as well as 3 strikeouts. Might be asking, why does he have good stats and only 1 appearance? That's because Negron is a shortstop by trade. Started this game out in short. He's reached all 3 times he's been at the plate so far today with a single, double, and a walk, but now is called in relief for this Lumberjack squad. It's 5-4, 2 runners on, no outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Negron, we do know one thing, he fills up the zone, and that's what is needed right now. Lumberjacks have to keep it close. It's just a 1-run ball game. And if they want to keep it competitive, Negron is going to have to go out there and get some strikes. First pitch shows bunt, but gets it to the backstop. That one for strike 1. Perfect alignment there by the Lumberjacks. It was Jihad Guy covering first, Carson Beatty running at the bunt, and Zeb Swangham coming in from third as well. Saw some defensive issues bunt-wise from the Oneonta defense in the last couple innings, but looks to be nothing from the Lumberjacks. 0-1 the count now on the batter, Gus Simon. Next pitch shows bunt yet again, pulls back on it, and the count 1-1. Simon so far today has reached base both times, hit by pitch and a single so far in this one. Takes a 378 on base into this game. Next pitch shows bunt yet again, gets it down but foul. This one rolls towards the Oneonta dugout, and the count 1-2 now.
Good job, Ja.
Simon presumably out of bunts now, is down to his last strike. And the Madonna University extra hitter gonna have to be careful here. Still runners on first and second. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Next pitch. Just got a piece of that one. Fouls it to the backstop. And the count remains 1-2. Negron ready for the next delivery on Simon. Looks back the runner, and here it comes. Just gets a piece of it yet again. Fouls it high and out of Damaski Field. That one into the car park, and the count remains 1-2. Simon playing in his first back-to-back here tonight since back on June 1st and 2nd. He's been productive, though, reaching base both times. 1-2 on the way. Chopped high down the left field line. This one getting out of play, though, and the count remains 1-2 yet again. Simon running up the pitch count on Elijah Negron early in this one, but Negron won't mind. He's got to get the out one way or another. Simon out of Madonna University, Concordia University of Ann Arbor transfer. He's ready for the 1-2. Down low in the dirt, slider misses from Negron, and the count 2-2 now. In his junior year at Madonna, had a .285 batting average in 53 games played. 18 hits, as this one fouled off yet again. 4th straight foul ball from Simon, who stays alive. So far this summer, batting .235 in the PGCBL. 12 games played for the junior. Count remains at 2-2 for Negron, who fiddles with the ball. Looks back the runner. Here comes the pitch. Down low, slider misses, and the count runs full. Negron got to be careful here. The ball would mean he walks the bases loaded with no outs. On deck is Blake Fortunato, who had a grand slam the first time these two teams played. And it's the first baseman, Alex Vizina, and then the lineup flips over. 3-2. Chop to the left side, foul. Stays alive, and Negron coming up on pitch number 9 in this at-bat. Seth Bischoff grabs the ball from behind home plate, gives it back to the umpire. As Gus Simon, thinking about this one, looks up into the sky. Digs in now on the right side. Negron stays looking for the sign, finally gets one. Payoff pitch. Swung on, just got a piece of that one. Finds its way to the backstop, and Simon continues to stay alive. Pitch number 10 on the way from Negron after this. Simon's been on base in the last 4 games, including getting on twice so far tonight. It's been a hard out as of late, but Negron needs to put him down if the Lumberjacks want to have a chance. Here's the 3-2. Skied high into shallow left field. Coming in on this one is Noah Reed. Loses the hat, but makes the catch for out number 1. Gets it in quickly, and no runners can advance. Crucial first out in this inning. Simon goes down in 10 pitches. Ultimately flies out, 1 out here in the inning, and brings up the DH, Blake Fortunato. It's Fortunato who had that grand slam off of Jonathan Tetzloff. Ultimately, those 4 runs would be the difference in that game, as Lumberjacks went to 2-9 on the season after that one. Different outlook for both of those teams here late in the season, but the Lumberjacks still fighting. Negron steps off, looks back at the runner. Pickoff is high, but Devon Ibaga jumps up and saves it. Ibaga moving over from extra hitter to the shortstop position as Negron went out on the mound for this inning. Still 1 out, runners on first and second. Next pitch. Chop to the right side. Jihad Guy gets this one, throws over to first. Not in time. That one down low. Gets away from Carson Beatty, as that's going to be a hit right there as they score it. Good throw, probably gets the runner Fortunato, but the bases are now loaded. It's Alex Venezia, the 10th hitter in this lineup, playing at first base. 0 for 1 on the day with the strikeout, swinging, and a walk. Digs in on the right side with the bright red helmet as a member of St. Joseph's University. This one swung on and hit off of the glove of Devon Ibaga. 1 run scores as another being waved home. Fortunato going over to third as this one finally picked up by Noah Reed. And the Oneonta Outlaws extend their lead. It's 7-4 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Still just 1 out. And the lineup flips back over for Oneonta. First error on the day for the Lumberjacks, but we know that's been an error, particularly in the last couple of games. It's Meyer scoring from third, Maslow coming home from second. Fortunato moves over to third on that one as well. Still double play possibility as Chaz Wright steps in on the left side. First pitch, in there for strike 1. Wright, another St. John's hitter in this lineup. It's down 0-1 here. So far is 0 for 2 on the night, 2 ground outs and a walk. Next pitch. Down low, slider misses. 1-1 the count. It's Chaz Wright, who's already gotten 2 ground balls here tonight. Lumberjacks wouldn't mind another one, as that could help them escape this inning. Here's the pitch from Negron. Just misses inside, and the count moves to 2-1. It's Wright with a 200 average, but .538 on base percentage entering this game. So here comes the 2-1. Misses up high, 3-1 the count now. Negron came into this game, forced a fly out, but then allowed a single. And then it's Vezina who reached on the error. Next pitch, up high, Catcher Seth Bischoff has to jump up and grab that one. Luckily he does, but it's a walk regardless to Chaz Wright. Negron walks the bases loaded. They're juiced for the second time this inning, and in comes Vincent Duffy, the right fielder. Still Negron out on the mound, no meeting. Have to figure this one out on his own, as it's Vincent Duffy who steps up. 1 for 3 on the day with a fly out, strikeout, and a double. First pitch. Just misses outside. Bischoff holds that one close to the center. Good frame job, but home plate umpire not budging. 1-0 the count. Duffy had a double as well in his last game played, that back on July 9th against Mohawk Valley. Next pitch. Hit on a line to the left side. This one going home, but throw off line by Zeb Swangham. And they'll say he tagged the bag. Bischoff had to dive way off to his left to grab that throw, but they'll say he kept the foot on home plate and 2 outs in the inning. Lumberjacks narrowly avoid another error here, but there's 2 outs, bases still loaded, and brings up Nolan Stark. It's Stark so far tonight, 2 for 3, 2 singles as well as a strikeout in this one. First pitch from Negron. Swung on and fouled to the right side. That one off of the shin of Nolan Stark, and the count 0-1. Stark comes into the day with a .367 batting average this season. He's already got 1 hit, looking for number 2 right here with the bases loaded. The 0-1. In there for strike 2. Negron working on the UNC Wilmington commit out of Oneonta, New York. Trying to set him down right here. 2 straight singles in this game for Stark. So here comes the 0-2. Checks on that one. Did he go? No, he did not, says the second base umpire. That one down low as well, so the count moves to 1-2. Negron resets out on the mound, as it's Stark who's got hits in 9 of his last 10 games. 11 in total after tonight. So here comes the 1-2. Outside slider misses, 2-2 the count now. He's also struck out in 3 straight. Had 6 total Ks in that span with 3 strikeouts, 2 strikeouts, and 1. Here comes the 2-2. Chop to the right side. Jihad Guy has got this one. Throws over to first not in time. Runner going home, though, and he is gunned down. A heads-up play by Carson Beatty, but 1 run does still score on the play. It's Blake Fortunato who came home. Vezina thought he could capitalize on it, but was gunned down, and that will end the inning. Oneonta does tack on 3, however. They take a commanding 8-4 lead as the Lumberjacks bat in the top of the 7th inning. We'll be right back on the other side of the break on the Boonville Radio Network. Lintel back out there for the Oneonta Outlaws here in this top of the 7th inning. Lumberjacks at the plate. It's going to be Seth Bischoff, the 10th hitter in the order. Then the lineup flips over. Jihad Guy and Zeb Swingham up after him. First up is Bischoff. So far 0 for 1 on the day. Fly out as well as a RBI sac fly. Lintel ready for the pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and hit into shallow left field. That one gets down for a single. Seth Bischoff is on to start off the inning. A much-needed hit for the Lumberjacks. And there's one on, no outs here in the top of the 7th. First hit of the day for the backstop, and it brings up the second baseman, Jihad Guy. Just the second hit allowed by Lintel, and brings up the leadoff man, Guy. So far, 2 for 3 on the day, 2 singles as well as a fly out to deep center field. Digs in on the right side now as Lintel stares him down. Here's the first offering. Down low in the dirt, almost gets away from the catcher Meyer, but jumps on it, and Bischoff can't go anywhere. Some sort of bug attacking me over here. They're all over my table. Seems like they always are as soon as the lights go on here at Damaski Field. 1-0. Up high, fastball misses, 2-0 the count. It's Guy out of Bruton Parker Christian University, the NAIA school. Played in the game last night in Glens Falls, was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. 2-0. Takes in there for strike 1. Fastball hits the outside corner. He's got 1 hit in his last 5 games, but added 2 more on here tonight. And 1 hit with 2 RBIs back on July 12th. The 2-1. Checks on it, does not go, and it's down low. 3-1 the count now on Guy. Started the season with just 4 strikeouts in his first 11 games, but now has had 4 in his last 3 games. Been struggling to stay patient, but ahead 3-1 here. Next pitch from Lintel. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and the count runs full on Guy. Does have 6 walks as well this season, 2 of them last night in Glens Falls. Could use another one here to just pass the stick to Zeb Swingham, who's on deck. Steps out as there's something in his eye, and it's going to take time before the payoff pitch. Just 4 walks all season for Jihad Guy, half of them last night and the other half on July 8th, both times against the Glens Falls Dragons. Facing Oneonta, though, here tonight. The payoff pitch. Swung on and hit into right field. That one is caught by the right fielder, Duffy. And back quickly to first is Seth Bischoff. Hard hit out right there for the leadoff man, Jihad Guy, but an out nonetheless. 1 gone here for Zeb Swingham. One, if Duffy was playing just a few feet back, would have dropped in for a hit, but instead Swingham digs in with just 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Lintel looks back at the runner Bischoff, but now focuses on Swingham. Here's the first pitch. Hit high into shallow right field. Back on this one is the second baseman Wright, who squeezes it for out number 2. 1 pitch, 1 out to Swingham right there, and he's 0 for 4 on the night. Now it brings up Wyatt Lassiter. 2 straight flyouts here in this inning, 2 straight outs, and brings up the right fielder, who's 1 for 2. Grounded into a double play, hit a double, and also was hit by a pitch. Stands with the bat in his hands on the right side. First pitch, down low, called for strike 1. Lassiter has played in 3 games against the Outlaws this season. 11 at-bats, 3 hits, all of them doubles for 1 RBI. Down 0-1 right here. Next offering. Hit on a line up the middle. This one gobbled up by the shortstop Maslow and throws over to second in time for out number 3. And despite a leadoff man for the Lumberjacks, they go down 1-2-3 after that. It's still 8-4. Lumberjacks trailing heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be right back on the other side of the break on the Boonville Radio Network. Elijah Negron back out there for inning number 2 of work here for the bottom of the 7th inning. It's the middle of the lineup for the Oneonta Outlaws. P.J. Strand, Stephen Clark, and Matthew Meyer. First up is the left fielder Strand, who stands in on the right side. So far is 1 for 2 on the night. Single fly out, also added a walk in the 2nd inning. First pitch on the outfielder. Hit to the left side, picked up by the shortstop Abaga. Long throw, but it's in time. Beatty squeezes it, and he is retired for out number 1. Tough play by the defense, but the middle infield comes up strong, and in comes the third baseman, Stephen Clark. It's Clark, who's 0 for 3 on the day. He's got 3 strikeouts, all of them swinging, but has not faced Elijah Negron yet. Digs in the right-handed batter's box. Here's pitch number 1. Swing and a miss out in front of that one. Clark quickly down 0-1. Clark out of Emmanuel University, as here comes the next pitch. Outside, 1-1 the count. He's played in 3 games against Boonville so far this season. 7 at-bats, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, as well as 2 walks. Here's the 1-1. Hit into center field. Going to his left is Will Hill. This one going to get down, however. Rounding first is Clark, who's going to be in second standing. They can't find the ball, though, and he's going to head to third. Finally getting it in is Hill, but in there standing with the triple is Stephen Clark. That one just got caught underneath the fence. It was hit all the way to the wall as the outfielders were playing a little bit in. And it's a man on third, just 1 out here for the catcher, Matthew Meyer. That's Clark's first triple of the PGCBL season. Didn't have any in college either at Emmanuel. First pitch on Meyer. Outside. Called for ball 1. Meyer so far 0 for 2 on the night with a hit-by pitch. Here comes the next delivery. Swing and a miss. Down low and quickly down 0-2 is Meyer. Had a .288 average in his junior year at SUNY Brockport, the Division III school. He's come out to the PGCBL and almost hit those numbers. .250 batting average for the backstop. It's down 0-2 right here. And Negron steps off, asks for time. Myers got 10 strikeouts so far this season. One of them came against Boonville back on July 4th. Hasn't had any here today. The 0-2. Down low, gets away from Bischoff. Breaking for home is the runner Clark, and he's going to be in there. There's no throw. And the Outlaws continue to extend their lead. It's 9-4. Oneonta on top. Another unforced error by the Lumberjacks right there, and really have been shooting themselves in the foot as of late as the Oneonta lead continues to balloon. Next pitch, hit into shallow center field. Will Hill running in on this one, but squeezes it for out number 2. 2 gone now with Augie Maslow coming up to the plate. That wild pitch likely a wash as well, as that was pretty deep. Probably deep enough to score Clark from third. So likely would be looking at the same situation either way, as here comes Maslow. Walked in his last 2 plate appearances, struck out in the first. Here's the opening pitch. Down low in the dirt. Called for strike 1 though. It's Maslow playing short. He's been busy over there so far today. Hasn't turned a double play yet though. 0-1, down low in the dirt yet again, this time called for a ball. Maslow came into the game batting .240 with a .377 on-base percentage. Just 12 hits as well. The 1-1. Hit into shallow center field. Coming in on this one is the right fielder Wyatt Lassiter, but he can't get there. It was Jihad Guy trying to run in on this one as well, but no one gets it. It's a single there for Augie Maslow, his first of the day, and brings up the extra hitter Gus Simon. So he's been on 3 times, once the single, twice by the walk. Maslow over on first with 2 outs, and Simon steps in now. Digs in on the right side. Negron ready. Here's the pitch. Hit on the left side, swing him. Letting this one go for Abaga, and he can't pick it up. This is into left field. Coming in is Noah Reed, as it's going to be Maslow pulling up on third base. And another error right there by Devon Abaga. We know he's been struggling in the field as of late, particularly here. Had a couple errors the last time these 2 teams played at Damaski Field, and with 2 more here tonight in just 2 innings at short. So runners on the corners now for the DH, Blake Fortunato. 1 for 3 on the night with a single. That came in his last plate appearance as he digs in on the left side. Still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Negron comes set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses for ball 1. Fortunato, another SUNY Brockport player. This time a freshman compared to the junior Meyer out of Deposit, New York. Next pitch. Slider misses outside, 2-0 the count. Negron has been solid, hasn't allowed more than just 1 walk here tonight. Down 2-0 in this count though. The next pitch, inside, moving the knees on that one is Fortunato, as a stolen base as well by the runner Simon, going from first to second. No throw down from Bischoff with the runner on third though, so 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs here. Negron does have a place to put him over on first, but wouldn't like to do that. First pitch, in there. Finally a strike call for Negron as the count moves to 3-1. On deck, it's the first baseman, Alex Venezia. 1 for 2 on the day. Payoff pitch, chopped over the Oneonta dugout, and the count remains full. Fortunato has a season-high 3 hits twice. He's got just 1 here tonight, but a good opportunity to add some RBIs to his tally. Payoff pitch on the way. Hit to the right side. This one off of the glove of Beatty and into right field. Coming home and scoring are both of the runners as Fortunato goes to second. He's in there safely as the throw airmailed. Covering that one is Zeb Swangham. Luckily that he did, but it's a 2-run double right there. Oneonta continues to extend their lead. It's 11-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. They call that one a hit out on the scoreboard, even though it did go close to the glove of Beatty. They'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 2 more RBIs for this Oneonta squad, and in comes the 10-hole hitter, Venezia. First pitch, misses for ball 1. It's Venezia, just 1 for 2 on the day. Strikeout reached on an error as well as a walk. 1-0 the count to him here. Next pitch, outside slider misses, 2-0. It's Fortunato on second with already 3 runs scored by the Outlaws in this bottom of the 7th inning over the Lumberjacks by 7 runs. 2-0. Outside slider misses yet again. Negron on the verge of his 2nd walk of the night. Venezia came into today with just 5 on the season. It's not his biggest weapon, but has a good opportunity here. 3-0, misses away, and a 4-pitch walk right there from Negron. So it's the bottom of the 7th inning. Still got to keep in mind that the Lumberjacks have their 14th straight game in a row tomorrow. Will be their final of the streak, but got to conserve arms. Somebody has to throw against Amsterdam tomorrow. Negron's going to stay in this game, try and conserve some arms. We have seen Colin Glenn as well as Matthew Helmer Jr. warming up in the pen. We'll see which of them ends up coming in tonight. But regardless, it's the leadoff man, Chaz Wright, as the lineup flips back over, stands in on the left side. Here's the first pitch. Hit into shallow left field. Coming in on this one is Reed, and he cannot make the catch. It gets by him as well. Coming in and scoring is 1 run as another waved home. Chaz Wright out on second base as it's Venezia coming home and scoring, and they continue to open up this game. It is now 13-4. And all of a sudden, the Lumberjacks in jeopardy here. 1 more run, and this would be a mercy rule, and the game would be over. An error right there by Noah Reed, who didn't think he could catch that ball, pulled up on it, but then it just skipped under the glove. And 2 runs score as a result of the error. So in steps the second hitter, Vincent Duffy, with the chance to end this game with a runner out on second. First pitch, taken down low for ball 1. Duffy so far today, 1 for 4 with the double, strikeout, fielder's choice, and a flyout. The 1-0. Down low, 2-0 the count. Grown, we were told he's coming into this game because he can throw strikes. That's what the team needs. Still has just 2 walks surrendered, but is already behind 2-0. Next pitch. Chopped high but foul down the left side. Two and 1 the count. Been a lot of unforced errors in the field by the Lumberjacks, as here's the 2-1. Up high, 3-1 the count now. Was the error by Abaga at short, another one out there by Reed in left. It's allowed quite a few runs to score in this game, and what was once a 4-0 Lumberjack lead has completely eroded. Next pitch is swung on to the left side, picked up by Abaga. Long throw to first is in time, and they get him for out number 3. So the ball game stays alive here. Lumberjacks battling down 9. We'll head to the 8th inning right after this. Pitching change for the Outlaws. It's Christopher Bayuios coming out on the mound for his first appearance of the year for Oneonta. That means the day is done for Lintel with 2 innings of work, 2 hits, no walks, and no runs earned against the right-hander. It's the right-hander Bayuios now, who was just added to the Oneonta roster today. Hasn't had any appearances so far this year and has to face the middle of the order for Boonville. It's Devon Abaga, Elijah Negron, and Bronx Lewis coming out for Boonville. First pitch, Abaga swings and fouls that one to the backstop. 0-1 the count. So far today, the Seattle native Abaga 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. He's down 0-1 right here. Next delivery on the way. Up high, fastball misses, 1-1 the count. Abaga's got hits in 5 of the last 7 games. 3 extra base hits in that span. None here tonight. But here comes the 1-1. Away, slider misses, 2-1 the count now. Abaga started off the season with 6 strikeouts in his first 4 games, has kept it up with 6 in the last 5 contests. So here comes the 2-1. Popped high down the first baseline, just behind me yet again. It's right behind me and bounces into some soft grass back there. Count 2-2. Abaga started tonight out in the extra hitter spot, ended up moving over to short with Elijah Negron out on the mound now. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss out in front of that one. And Abaga goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. That's out number 1 and brings up the pitcher, Elijah Negron. No for 4 night for Abaga with 2 errors in the field. Not his strongest day. And brings up Negron, who's in between pitches out on the mound. Negron's been on all 3 times so far today. 2 for 2 with a single, double, and a walk. Here's the first pitch. Checks on that one. It's in there for strike 1, though. Negron's been punched out in 6 of the last 9 games. Didn't have any last game and has avoided it here tonight. He's down 0-1 right here, though. Next pitch. Down low in the dirt, slider misses, 1-1 the count. Negron just 1 RBI in the last 17 games. Was the only run scored here against Oneonta in the 22-1 loss just a couple days ago. Here's the 1-1. Checks on that one. Didn't go, though, and it's in the dirt. 2-2 the count. Doesn't exactly have an RBI opportunity right here. 2-1 with 1 out. No runners on in a ballpark that hasn't seen any home runs be lifted out, at least between these 2 teams. 2-1 the count now. Here comes the pitch. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it to the backstop, and the count moves to 2-2. It's Bayuios out there, working quickly against this Boonville lineup. Steps in with the right foot, then the left. Extends the glove, gets ready, comes set. Here's the pitch on Negron. Inside slider. Oh, and it's a called 3rd strike. Negron moved out of the way as if that one was going to hit him, but instead called strike 3. And that is out number 2. Just the first punch out of the day for Negron, but goes down for out number 2, and it brings up Bronx Lewis, who's got 2 Ks of his own so far today. The lefty stands in, 6'2". Here's the pitch. Down low, misses, 1-0. hush has fallen over Damaski Field here as most fans are gone. Here comes the 1-0. Hit high over the Oneonta dugout, and the count moves to 1-1. It's Lewis so far today, who's struck out twice and flew out, 0 for 3 on the day, from the Concordia University designated hitter and outfielder. He's ready, stands with the bat high above the shoulder. As here comes the 1-1. Down low slider misses, and the count 2-1 now. It's the Midsummer Classic out also being played tonight, the MLB All-Star Game. It's the American League ahead 3-0 at the end of the 4th inning. Junior Caminero, the All-Stars, exited after being hit by a pitch. As here comes the 2-1 from Batuios. Chop down the left side, foul. Count moves to 2-2. It's my favorite player and my GOAT, Mike Trout, 0 for 3 in the leadoff spot. Rough night for him, but Shea Langoliers 1 for 1. 2 RBIs from Cody Bellinger, came off a single. And the AL out in front. Two All-Stars as well in the PGCBL for the Lumberjacks, as here comes the 2-2. In there, 4 strike 3. Lewis goes down with the sombrero, and Batuios strikes out the side. It's 3 straight as the Lumberjacks go down in order here in this top of the 8th inning. Got to protect a 1-run lead or else this game is over. It's 13-4. Lumberjacks trailing by 9. We'll be right back on the other side of the break on the Lumberjacks Radio Network. Matthew Helmer Jr. comes in to replace Elijah Negron. Final numbers for the position player out on the mound, 7 total earned runs. It was quite a lot of hits allowed, 7 of them, along with 2 walks for Negron. And in comes Matthew Helmer Jr., tasked with keeping this deficit at 9 runs. If it gets any further, it's going to be a forfeit for the Boonville Lumberjacks. Coming into the year, Helmer with 7 games played, 8.1 innings pitched with a 16.2 ERA this summer. He's got 16 runs, 15 of them earned with 11 hits, 12 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He'll have to face the top to mid of the Oneonta order. It's Nolan Stark, the 3-hole hitter, then P.J. Strand and Stephen Clark. So Stark, Strand, Clark here. First up is Stark, who's 3 for 4 on the night. 3 singles as well as a punch-out in the first inning. No defensive changes for the Lumberjacks. They keep everyone at their respective positions out in the field. Got to work out the kinks there defensively. So Stark digs in on the left side. First pitch on him up high for ball 1. Stark, a UNC Wilmington commit, will join Zeb Swangham, out on third. As here's the next pitch, taken up high, 2-0 the count. Swangham on third, another University of North Carolina player. Swangham on the Asheville side of things, though. Stark going to Wilmington. 2-0 misses up high from Helmer. It's 3-0. Stark in 2 games played against Boonville this season, 8 at-bats with 4 hits, including a triple and a home run, as well as 5 RBIs. Next pitch is up high, And he draws the 4-pitch walk right there. So add walk number 2 to the tally. 1 man on with no outs here for Stephen Clark. It's PJ Strand, the left fielder, up now, 1 for 3 on the night with a walk, single, and fly out, ground out. First pitch in there for a called strike by Helmer. It's Nolan Stark with a moderate lead out there on first base. He goes. This one hit high, foul though. Bischoff is underneath it. Stark hustling back to first as Bischoff can't make the catch. Another foul out that just cannot be completed by these Lumberjacks. This time it was Bischoff ranging back and forth right behind home plate and just couldn't make the catch on that one. Another lucky break for the Outlaws as PJ Strand gets a new lease on life. He's down 0-2. Pick back on Stark, not in time. It was the first baseman, Carson Beatty, just last inning who couldn't complete the foul out. And now it's the backstop Bischoff. 0-2, almost hits him, and they'll say it does. Strand doesn't like that call. He wanted to go in there and hit, but a hit by pitch right there by Helmer. Runners on first and second now for the third baseman, Stephen Clark. Remember, it's the Lumberjacks. If they give up a single run, this game is over due to mercy rule. Still a far cry from the 22-1 scoreline we saw a couple days ago. Was the first pitch in there for strike 1. But nevertheless, another mercy rule from this Boonville squad. They've been struggling as of late, and as of right now, go down 14 straight. Next pitch from Helmer. Misses up high. 1-1 the count. One on the way. Swung on, just fouled to the backstop, and the count 1-2. It's going to be a showdown against Amsterdam tomorrow, 6:45 at Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. Be sure to show up for that one. It'll be the last game before the Lumberjacks finally get an off day. Next pitch, up high, misses. 2-2 the count. It's Clark out of Emmanuel University. Bats now with 2 runners on, no outs. Top or bottom of the 8th inning. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and he goes down swinging for out number 1. Forwards K for Helmer right there, and brings up the catcher Matthew Meyer. The backstop digs in on the right side with the white helmet, white gloves, and white cleats. Is wearing black socks though. Interesting fashion choice. First pitch swung on and hit high into center field. Converging on this one is the 2 outfielders. It's Lassiter who makes the catch, and no one can tag. So 2 outs in the inning. Meyer goes down, and it brings up the shortstop, Augie Maslow. Still hot and humid here in Oneonta, slightly better than the 87 degrees that it was at first pitch. Still 77 though, with high humidity. First pitch on Maslow in there for strike 1. Oh, 1 on the way. Outside, 1-1 the count. It's going to be a long drive back for these Lumberjacks. 3 hours back to Boonville. And the 1-1 hit high into left field. Going back on this one is Will Hill. Looks up, and making the catch diving is Noah Reed. And that is out number 3. Not really a ball that warranted the dive, but Reed catches it for out number 3 regardless, and that will do it for the bottom of the 8th inning. We head to the top of the 9th. Lumberjacks last chance, trailing by 9 runs. Evan Simbita here on the Lumberjacks Radio Network. Bruce Mistler out here to close the game for the Outlaws. Numbers on him this season: 4 games played with just under 6 innings pitched with a 12.7 ERA. 8 runs, all of them earned, for 9 hits and 5 walks, 4 punch-outs as well for Mistler. Mistler, a Mount St. Mary's College player, has to face the bottom of the Boonville order. It's Will Hill, Carson Beatty, and Noah Reed. But first, a meeting at the mound between Meyer and Mistler. Freshman from Oneonta, New York, one of 2 natives of Oneonta. The other is Nolan Stark. Stark didn't pitch in this game, but did start in center field, even though we have seen him feature on the mound against the Lumberjacks previously this season. First pitch on the way to Will Hill. Down low, gets away and to the backstop. Meyer couldn't control that one in the count 1-0. This is the last chance for the Lumberjacks. Unless they can plate 9 or more runs here, the game will be over. The 1-0. Hit high into left field. Going back on this one is Strand, and that one is going to be down, a fair ball. Will Hill hustling around first as Strand still doesn't have it. Moving to third now, and in there sliding head first. Safe with the triple. Ball gets away from Clark and gets to the pitcher Mistler, but it's a leadoff 3-bagger right there for Will Hill. Hustling around the base paths on that one. An impressive show of speed as Strand lackadaisical to get to that ball, and it brings up Carson Beatty, the first baseman. So maybe something brewing here for the Lumberjacks, down 9 runs. It's Beatty who's reached twice so far tonight. 1 for 2 with the ground out walk, as well as a single. First pitch, down in the dirt. Meyer scoops it up though. Beatty holds up the hand and tells Will Hill to stay put on third, and the count moves to 1-0. Beatty came into this game 2 games without a hit, but did remedy that as the next pitch, fastball, misses down low. 2-0 the count. Beatty, a slap hitter at the first base position, doesn't have an extra base hit so far this season, but is still looking for one. Only needs a single right here to plate Will Hill. (2-0). Hit high into shallow left field. Coming in on this one is Strand, who makes the catch. Tagging is Will Hill, though. And we'll call that one a sac fly for Carson Beatty. Primarily a ground ball hitter, but does get the run in right there. So they cut the deficit. It's 5-13. Only 8 runs of ground left to cover for Boonville. Breaking up a 13 unanswered streak by Oneonta. And only just. Here comes Noah Reed. First pitch. Hit on the left side. That one, diving play right there by Maslow. Throw over, not in time though. Noah Reed beats it out for an infield single. Second single of the day for Reed. One off of the diving play right there, and the other off of a bunt. He won't mind it though. 2 single day for Reed, and brings up the 10th hitter in this lineup, Seth Bischoff. Already 2 hits in this inning. One of them has already come around to score. Just 1 out with a runner on first. Here's Bischoff. First pitch. Takes down low, 1-0 the count. Bischoff so far today with a fly out, sac fly, and a single. He's ahead 1-0 here. Next pitch. Taken up high, 2-0 the count now on Bischoff, the Grand Rapids Community College freshman out of Middleville, Michigan. Just like Beatty one of the last hitters, a Michigan native. Here comes the 2-0. Down low yet again, 3-0 as Missler continues to falter with the control. Missler, a two-way player, hitter, and a pitcher, out there to close this game for Oneonta with 8 more runs of cushion. 3-0. In there for strike one. It's Bischoff with a 179 average to 56 on base percentage. Stands in, awaiting the 3-1 delivery. Here it comes. In there for strike two. Catcher Meyer wasn't expecting that call as he paused when throwing the baseball back once he heard the call from the home plate umpire, and the count quickly runs full now. Missler with the ball in the right hand awaits the pitch time called. Bischoff still digging in on the right side. Taps the bat on the plate once, twice. Spins it 3 times. Now gets ready. Here's the payoff pitch. Down low in the dirt, gets away from Missler. The catcher Meyer had to stand up to grab that one as it bounced off of the dirt, and 2 runners on with just 1 out. The lineup flips back over, and it's Jihad Guy. Guy so far today, 2 singles as well as 2 flyouts for the second baseman. Stands in for at-bat number 5 on the right side. Missler ready for the pitch. Here it comes. Down low, Meyer dives to his left to grab that one, and the count moves to 1-0. Guy has been on base safely in 8 of the last 9 games that he has played, including the last 2. Multiple hits here in this one, a strong performance. As here's the next pitch. Down low yet again. Sliding to his right is Meyer, and the count 2-0. Lumberjacks brewing something here, still down 8 runs. Missler not the strongest arm out on the mound, as it looks like they're going to get someone warming up in the bullpen. Here comes the 2-0. Fouled off, just got a piece of that one, did Guy, and the count 2-1. Interestingly, someone warming up in the Oneonta bullpen. Still 8 runs of cushion, but they don't want to let this one get out of hand. Oneonta currently in a playoff race, so every game counts for these Outlaws. 2-1 the count on Guy. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss out in front of that one, and the count 2-2. It's Bischoff on first, Noah Reed on second. Reed reached on the single, Bischoff on a walk. Missler ready for the 2-2. Here it comes. Up high, misses, and the count runs full now. Just the low hum of lights, the only noise that can be heard here at Damaski Field. Few fans left here, as we're past 10 p.m. now. 3-2. Just gets a piece of it, fouls it down near the light pole behind home plate, and the count moves full yet again. Guy, a freshman out of Lilburn, Georgia. He's played in 14 games so far this season for Boonville. Just looking to pass the stick to Zeb Swangham, who's on deck. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch that was well outside. And Jihad Guy swings and misses. Strikeout number 1 on the day for him, and number 1 for Missler. It's out number 2. So Lumberjacks down to their final out. The man who was warming up in the Oneonta bullpen has now ceased his warm-ups. As it's Zeb Swangham stepping in now on the right side. Bright blue helmet from UNC Asheville. Here's the pitch. Down low, misses 1-0. Swangham so far today 0 for 4. 2 flyouts, a fielder's choice, and he reached on an error. Here comes the 1-0. Misses up high. 2-0 the count. Swingham, more of a patient hitter. Struck out in just about half of his games so far this year. None tonight. First pitch, up high, 3-0. He's got to be careful. He'll walk the bases loaded with a ball here to Swingham, and he steps off to recollect himself. No walks for Swingham here tonight, but with 4 in the last 3 contests. Mistler ready. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 1. Bischoff on first, Reed on second. First base coach Jonathan Tetzloff, the right-handed pitcher. Third base coach, manager Christian Griffin. The 3-1. Checks on it. In there for strike 2. Pick back and Reed, and he is caught in a rundown. Throwing over to third, and he's tagged out. And that will end the ball game. Noah Reed caught in a rundown. It was a good pack pick by the catcher Mayer, and that's the ball game. Boonville go down for the 14th straight time, this time by a final score of 13-5. They dropped to 8-24 on the year as Oneonta continue their playoff push, improving to 11-16-1. Lumberjacks can't get it done at Damaski Field and continue their losing ways in away games this season. They've only won 3, all of them away at Utica, at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. And that does it for us here tonight. Another disappointing loss for Boonville as they are probably officially eliminated from the playoffs with this loss. Unfortunate for the Lumberjacks, as it's Oneonta, a team that they haven't been able to take down all season long. It was a strong start from Kanias Davis, went 5 innings, 5 earned runs there. Then it was Mason Michael, came in, only faced 2 batters, and then Elijah Negron, 2 innings of work from him. Ultimately would be tagged with 7 runs, 5 of them earned, the other 2 on Michael. Coming in and closing the game was Matthew Helmer Jr., and that is how the Outlaws put up 13 runs. It was 4 straight from Boonville to start the game, all 4 of them on the reliever Asa Dugan, and all of those came in the 5th inning. It was 3 RBIs from Wyatt Lassiter on a bases-clearing double that represented most of the run production from this Boonville team here tonight, but they continue to struggle, continue to go down, and lose 14 straight games. Tomorrow it's a matchup against Amsterdam at Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. First pitch set for 6:45 p.m. We hope to see you there. We'll have another broadcast on the YouTube channel. And that will do it for us here at Damaski Field. We thank you for sticking with us here tonight. Thank you as always for listening. Your support means a lot to us. And we will be back tomorrow. Final score, 13-5 as the Lumberjacks drop 14 straight. I'm Evan Simbita signing off on the Boonville Lumberjacks YouTube. We hope you have a great rest of your night and hope you see you again soon.